Hi friends, welcome back. Naji here. So we have discussed about AWS features and how to create the root user. I have given some instructions to create the root user. So I believe you have created that. And in this video, we will be discussing about few general terms that we mostly use with respect to the IAM. And we can see how can we create a IAM user, and we also discuss how can we give the user permissions to that particular IAM user. So agenda, as I said, we will be discussing on some common terms in IAM, and we also will be discussing how can we create the IAM user, groups, etc. and policies. And IAM, we all know, like say identity access management is a web service that helps us to give the for authentication and the authorization in a simple term. And the another term, that is the principal, is a general term which actually specifies any user or account or service or any other entity that is allowed or denied to access to resources. Okay, so it's a general term that we call for the users, account or services. So this is also very important thing. So whenever we create some kind of a rules or restrictions, we will say that okay, principal colon. Okay, so we will write something like that in the JSON file, which means that it refers to the user or resources, anybody who has the access or the who has the allowed or denied permissions to that particular resource. There are four type of principals there. One is AWS account, root user, IAM roles, and the services like Lambda and EC2. And another term is ARN. ARN means Amazon Resource Names, which is uniquely identify the AWS resource. Okay, uniquely identifies, which is, we can say that it's a unique ID. IAM user, so that is IAM user is user that we create in our AWS account. And another term is the policy. Okay. The policy is actually, we define the permissions. Okay, so in AWS we have thousands of services are there, right? So when I create a user, I don't want to give these 1,000 permissions to that particular user. So that is not a good practice. The practice is whenever I create a user, okay, I want to give specific permission to that particular user. For example, say I'm creating a user with maybe the account manager. Okay, so account manager need to see, just for the sake of discussion, just need to see only the billing details only. Okay, so so we can, whenever create a account manager, I can only assign that policy which will help them to see the billing related things. Okay, so in this way we can restrict the entire AWS console or entire AWS permissions. So there is policies. There are a lot of built-in policies are available, but we can create our own policies also. IAM role. So to explain IAM role, let me tell you one example. Say like I have a Lambda function, which is a service provided by the AWS, which is a serverless, we can say. And if AWS Lambda function, considered as a program, want to access another service called S3 bucket. Say S3 bucket is a storage. Okay, simply we can understand it as a storage. So whenever a Lambda want to access the S3 bucket, it has to have some kind of a permissions, right? So usually when we create a user, we are giving the username and password to connect with the different resources. But here it has to be created temporarily, and we don't need to use the username and password, right? So it's a programmatically running thing. So for that, what we are doing, we are creating an IAM role, and we will be giving the S3 bucket permission to this IAM role, and the role will be assigned with the AWS Lambda function. So which will finally help the AWS Lambda function to access the S3 bucket. So that is IAM role, and we can talk about the groups. So let me tell you one scenario. Say I have 1,000 developers are there, and each developer need 3 resources. They want to access the databases, they want to access the what we call S3 bucket, or they want to access the Lambda functions. So what is the usual scenario? I can create a user and I can assign 3 policies to this user. Okay, then I can save this, right? In this way I can create 1,000 developers. Say I want to add one more permission to this particular developer group. Say the developer has to access another service that is easy to service. Okay, so in that case, I have to go with this all these 1,000 developers, and I want to assign this easy to permission to that particular users, right? And similar to that, if I want to alter any permissions, then also I have to go with these 1,000 or my 10,000 developers in my organization, right? For that, what I can do, I can create a group, a developer group, right? And all the developer permissions can be given to this group. And whenever I create a user, I can assign this group with this user. Okay, so whenever I want to alter this, I don't want to go with this 1,000 or 10,000 developers, I just go and edit this developer group. Okay, so that is how the groups works. I can demonstrate these things. Okay, now we can go to the, so that is the theory part. I know it's a little boring, but we can see, we can go and check the AWS console. So I have logged in with my AWS console, and so if you are logged into the first time, you can see something similar to this. Okay, not exactly, but you may not see this kind of a recently visited thing. For that, you can go here and search for IAM. Let me go to IAM. Okay, so here we can see these terms should be familiar by now. You have a user group, and we have a users, roles, and the policies. Okay, so let me go to the user group. Here I have a user group. Okay, program access. This group I have given a permission called S3 bucket full access permission. Amazon S3 bucket full access permission. No users are assigned to this one. Okay, so if I want to assign any user to this group, as we said, the developer, I can go and select a user from here, and I can assign to that particular group. Currently I am not going to do that. And here we can see the users. User, we have an option to create user. So let me go to create a user, and I can say that dummy user. Okay, so in two ways I can give permissions. One is I can give the console access to that particular user, which means the user will able to access our console also. They will able to give username and password and will able to log in here. Okay, otherwise I can give only the programmatic access, which means that they will not be access to the AWS console. They can only use programmatically they will able to use that. Okay, using their keys, secret key and the public keys. Okay, and here we can see two options. One is auto generated password. If you say auto generated password, they will create a password for us, or I can create a custom password. Okay, so custom password can be anything. Okay, currently I am giving something, I don't know what I am giving anyway. And so this is my password, and I can set another option. Okay, users must create a new password at the next sign in. So whenever a user is created, okay, whenever a user is created, and after giving username and password, first time they have to change the password. Okay, and this is my password. Let me copy this. Now the next thing is, okay, I just let me go back. I just click the next button. Here we can see different options. I can add this particular user to any group. I can select this, okay, or I can copy the permissions from existing users. Okay, so that is another option. Then I also will able to attach some policies. Say if I am saying that this user only need S3 bucket access, I can give this permission, this policy. Or if I am saying that okay, only read only permissions needed, where is that? Okay, read only permission, sorry, I can give the read only permissions only. Or if I am saying that if you look on this read only permission, it has a get, list, describe, all those features are there. I'm not satisfied this read only permission. I'm saying that okay, I need to have a custom policy. Okay, I just need only the describe only. For that, what I can do, I can create my own policies. Just click on my own policy. Here I can select the service. I'm going to select the S3 service, and here I'm saying that I just need only list grant access, or I'm saying that I only need the list bucket only list bucket. Okay, so this is the only permission that I am giving to this particular user. Okay, so here I am saying that okay, for any resource. Okay, now let me go to the next. Here I can see that S3 list only permission I can create. Now create a policy. So this policies has been created. I can say that S3 list. Okay, I can assign this permission to the user. Okay, currently I am not assigning this, but I can assign this to the policy user and I can continue with that, right? Let me come here. Here let me refresh. This is my user creation screen and I am refreshing that. Now I can search for S3 list permission. See, S3 list only. I can assign this policy with that particular user and I can click on the next and I can say continue this. But currently I am not selecting this. Let me complete this one and create user. Okay. So once the user is created, we will able to see this kind of a thing. Okay. So this is the URL and this is the username and this is the password. Okay, I will able to download this and you can download this as a CSV file and this can be shared with the particular user. So let me log in incognito mode, private window, and let me copy this link and let me paste it here. I can check. Okay, here I can where is that? Okay, I'm trying to see the username and password. I think I lost that. It's here. Okay, so this is the user. This is a username. Okay, now let me check the password. I'm copying the password. Okay, this is my password and see, I'm going to sign in. So whenever I sign in, it is asking for my old password and they are asking for my new password. So this is coming because we have said that okay, whenever you log in first time you have to change that, right? So let me give one password here. Okay. Okay, now let me confirm the change. Once it is confirmed, okay, once it is confirmed, I will be able to log in. So you can see that there are a lot of permissions are denied here. Okay, to give permissions to this user. Okay, now let me minimize this. What I can do, I can go to my IAM user and I can select this particular user. Now when we come to here, we can see that test user is created. I mean dummy user is created, right? So I can go to dummy user. I can go to dummy user and I can assign, if I want to mod permissions, I can add the permissions. Okay, I can assign any group to this. Okay, maybe I can give this permission very easily, or I can add what we called, I can create any group and assign to. So I have added with the easiest group and all those things I can do that right from here. Now there is another thing is that security credentials. Okay, here I can create a access key. Okay, so when I click on this access key, okay, so I will able to create a access key, and in this way we will able to programmatically access this one. Okay, so using, let me create this one. See, so this is the access key and this is the secret key, and use this can be shared with the developer, and the developer will able to, by using this access key and the secret key, they will able to log into the programmatically will able to access the AWS resources. Okay, and I think we have covered everything. We have discussed about user group, users, roles, and policies. And one more thing, so let me go to the users and dummy user. Okay, here we have discussed about security and security credential. Let me click on security credential again. Okay, so here we can see that enable without MFA. Okay, so here I can enable an MFA, multi-factor authentication. Okay, so for that I can assign a MFA device. Okay, so we can create a passkey security, authenticate the user with a fingerprint or face or screen lock, etc. Okay, or we can use a authenticator app. So this is the one that very commonly used, or we can use a hardware OTP. So whenever we do a username and password, okay, so as a second verification they will ask for this authenticator app number. Okay, so auto generated number, we can give this MFA number, then it will verify us. Just a what we call the two-factor kind of a authentication. Okay, so that's it. I think it's kind of a long video, but I think we have covered basic thing with respect to IAM. Okay, so if you have any questions, please put in the comment box. I will try to answer this. So please do like and subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye bye.